And welcome to Tardis Talk. We're back with you again this Sunday. Hope you're having a great weekend, or at least looking forward to a not so crappy week. But regardless, we are talking Doctor Who, specifically jumping into 2005's Doctor Who, The Empty Child and The Doctor Dances, which is just another reason while we're doubling up to get us really off of the alignment of the episode numbers. So, if you're OCD like me, you're dying inside, and I understand why. But with that said, you're with us. It's Fanbox. You can check us out at itsfanbox.com. Also, YouTube /@itsfanbox. We're basically just a place for creators to talk about the things that they love. And so if you're a fan of anything and you'd love to see it on here, maybe you could be the person that takes us to the next level with the next fandom that you enjoy. But with that said, let's go ahead and go around. We do the whole clockwise thing. So Nico, take us away.
Hello, I'm Nico Skywalker from TikTok, Skywalking Nico on Instagram, Doctor Who cosplayer, and Doctor Who enjoyer.
He did the thing.
I guess it's my turn. So hello everyone, I am Jonathan, also known as Marvelous Johnny. Y'all can find me on TikTok, YouTube, which I'm still getting together, and Instagram.
I am Xanatos1138 on all socials, or David if you can't say Xanatos, because that happens a lot. I have my 9 and 10 Blacklight Doctor screwdriver ready to talk about the episodes.
Technically just 10, because 9 had the cream, perfectly flat design.
Yeah, this is like an Aztec pattern.
Yeah,
so yeah,
that was
10.
all crackled.
A little crackled like little marbled effects or something.
Yeah.
But if you're listening later on, or if you're watching on our YouTube channel, thank you so much for doing so. You can also check out this podcast anywhere you get your podcasts. So Apple, Spotify, all of those places. We'd love to have you subscribe there, as well as give us good reviews. And if you are watching, subscribe, turn on notifications. I don't know why I'm pointing at that stuff, but because that helps us out and helps us in the algorithm. With that said, we are talking The Empty Child, which for whatever reason last night I was saying The Hollow Child, The Empty Child, as well as The Doctor Dances. We get our first introduction to Captain Jack Harkness, i.e. John Barrowman, which we could have a lot to say about that person.
I've met him. He's very nice in person. I won't deny.
Yeah, just watch his hands. And anyway,
he actually grabbed my phone and took a picture with it at a Q&A once.
I will say he's a very charismatic speaker. We'll say it that way.
Yeah. No, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. And if you're wondering, the whole Captain Jack Harkness, the whole interaction with Rose, that is very much him in real life. That's just how he is. So let's go ahead and talk about the episode. Do we want to do them both as a whole, since they're the whole storyline, or?
I say yeah.
Okay, let's pair them up together.
It only makes sense.
Basically, we start off with the Doctor following a canister through space, a pod. And it brings him back to World War II England, and of course the bombings in London. And we notice that there's some strange happenings going around. So what are you guys' thoughts about these episodes? Let's just jump into it, and we don't have to go in any order.
I personally love it. This is my favorite Christopher Eccleston episodes in his run.
Mm-hmm.
I love a Moffat episode, so Moffat two-parter.
Yeah. Was this the first time Moffat wrote for the new series? I can't remember.
I think he wrote Dalek.
Oh, yes, he did write Dalek, I think. Pretty sure he did write Dalek.
I definitely like these episodes more than the very first time I viewed them, because I was annoyed by the child the entire time. But then knowing the end result, I'm like, okay, I get what's happening here now.
I will say, for first watch, I missed a lot when I first watched it. And going back and watching it again really did kind of settle things, and it was much more enjoyable. I think that's the thing. It's Doctor Who is not brain dead watching. Mm-hmm. You do have to pay attention because they really are. They're dropping a lot of hints about things. I mean, we had both Rose and the Doctor hurt themselves and be repaired by the nanosites on his ship, on Jack's ship, and never once did we come to the conclusion later on until They have to spell it out for us. You're sitting there going, like, I'm really dense. Super dense. So.
Great episode. I loved it. Like, I always liked the kid when he popped up. I'm like, who's this kid? He's like, are you my mom? You're like, don't touch him. It's like, the doctor's like, do you know what it's like to be alone outside? He's like, yeah. Like, yeah.
Here's my thing. Like, considering how much we know about the Doctor later on, and like how, like, you know, only the children can know his real name, who can say it and everything, who can hear it, and how, you know, how protective he is of children alone. The way he treats this child at first when he picks up the phone when they're calling through the TARDIS has me surprised. I'm just like oddly dismissive at the moment, you know. I'm just like, damn, okay.
It's confusing because he's like, the phone doesn't work. Like, what is this going on?
His
Like,
phone is not connected.
but he knew. But if you think about it, he immediately follows the girl. He goes to see what's going on. I love the engagement when he tracks her down and she's like, or do you follow me? He's like, well, it's easy to. Then she makes a reference to his nose and his ears, and just like mocks him. And he's like, wait, what do you mean? And she's like, nothing. Never mind. But he does. I mean, like, even though when he sits down at the table with the kids and, you know, the kids they're panicked, but he's very comfortable and he's just talking to them. He talks to them respectfully more than he does when he talks to adults. Like the kids just he marvels at them. And I think that's because they're ones that don't have to believe or have to really be convinced to believe the things that he's capable of.
The Doctor at a like a random birthday party or like a random party in general, he would be the one that voluntarily sits at the kids' table.
Yeah.
100%.
Because it's the better conversation.
Yeah.
Sure.
Those guys are all stuffy.
I mean, let's not forget him at Amy's wedding later on. He's dancing the drunken giraffe with the kids for the most part.
Oh man. Yeah, so the kids are breaking into houses while the air raids are going to get food, and that actually is really genius. Never considered that the homeless would be able to, you know, take advantage of that while everyone's, you know, sheltering in place.
And it shows the desperation too, because they could have just been bombed at any moment.
Yeah.
I mean,
Gotta eat.
Yeah.
It's better bombed with a full stomach.
Yeah,
exactly.
Nice hot meal.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then what else was there this episode?
I loved the moment when the girl was telling the doctor, he's like, if you really want to go to see the crash site, you need to go visit the doctor first. And he's like, wait, what?
Like, who, me? Is there another me here already? Like in the future?
Well, that's the fun part about it, because the farther you go into the Doctor Who series, the more you know it's possible that he has to go reference himself.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
there's
we
that
see
potential
it in the newest series with Ncuti, right? When he goes for the Beatles episode, he's like, "Yeah, no, I live somewhere over there with my granddaughter in like a junkyard."
Yeah,
Mr. Spock.
Oh God, I forgot about that one. However, I do have to say, Captain Jack's con method, pretty good method. I got to admire it. You know, it's pretty clever.
Yeah, and I love the fact that Rose is conning him while he's trying to con her, and they're both like and the psychic paper. Let's just touch on the psychic paper for a second.
Sexy and single.
Oh God, poor Mickey.
And then she put back in
what boyfriend, Mickey?
Yeah.
Oh God, I should honestly get like some blank paper to show people. I'm just like, oh, here, what does this read? And then like you can slightly make out the words "single" and "sexy" on there. I'm like, you only see what you want.
I always thought it would be funny, like if you go to a convention and do something, because there's actually these tablets that you can get where you can write on stuff, and then you can push a button and it immediately disappears. And it'd be so funny to like write little messages and just say like this, and then click it, and it's like, oh, it's just my psychic paper, and it's completely blank. But you can always like have these.
I would love that. Honestly, have that connected inside of a sonic screwdriver.
Oh,
there you go. Make it look like an absolute magic trick right there.
Yeah, and it'll cost probably about $300-$400 depending on how much the tariffs cost us. But you don't have to worry about that, John. Yeah, exactly.
That, funnily enough, reminds me of the remote that Captain Jack had when she's like, "Hey, have you got the time?" And he lights it up, and Big Ben shows the time. Like, yeah, it's right there.
Can we also give a little shout out to his little mini Sonic, like just that little device he used? I'm like, oh, look, it's so cute.
Hey, the Sonic Blaster is pretty dope. I do wish I had one. So.
The square gun, yeah.
Yes.
And then he
Yeah.
swaps it for a banana. Hang on to it. It's great. It's a great source of potassium.
Great source of potassium.
Listen, I'm not going to say that when I bought this iPhone like band, I wasn't thinking about like a teleporter. Like, yes. I'm like,
vortex manipulator.
Oh god.
No, there was a lot of like fun little stuff. I mean, you've got all these people with these faces. Let's also like kind of go back to this. The moment when they're in the house and the kid's outside the door and he's reaching through the envelope thing. The doctor's talking to him like normal, and the kid, instead of like going after the doctor, he just disappears.
Mhm.
Like this is a being right now that has been known to touch people and convert them into whatever he is, and he doesn't even do that to the doctor. And the doctor was just respectful. He's like, okay, I'm going to open the door. And so he opens the door. The kid's gone. Like, I was like, okay. There's something about that. Like, okay.
I love that line though that he has later on. Just go like one of the most powerful beings in the universe, and I just sent it to its room.
The funniest after that realization, or around that time, the funniest thing that the kid did was started Hulk smashing through the wall.
Yeah,
That sound effect.
I forgot that happened. I'm like, okay, they're good. He's like, I'm like, oh wow, I totally
Like,
forgot this kid has super strength now. All right, my bad.
Would have been funny if we saw the kid launch someone at some point, but
Yeah.
it's fine. It's still as great as it is.
Yeah. And then of course we have the doctor who is explaining everything and then immediately turn like that conversion to the mask face was kind of a little bit excessive.
You can
Like
just
you see the whole respirator thing just kind of come out of his mouth.
Well, what's the thing when the doctor is turning into those things? It looks like someone's like has a PNG file and they're just like pulling it forward. Honestly,
That's a good point.
it looks good in some moments, but when the doctor was turning into the things, it did not look great. I can't pretend.
I will say
The bulging eyes. Yeah.
yeah. But I think my favorite conversion was the one right near the end when the girl is chained with the guy and he's like, watch him. He's like, yes, mummy.
Yeah.
He's like, what did you say? He's like, something's wrong. And he's like, what's your wife's name? He's like, are you my mummy? He was just kidding.
Oedipus would love this episode.
Lock me up anywhere else. Anywhere. Don't leave me in here. Look, what's going on? Yes, mommy.
Start saying to it. And it works somehow.
And she puts it to sleep. Yeah.
I mean, hey, whatever it takes to survive, right?
Yeah.
Can we just also say if this girl wouldn't have been running from her kid this whole time, none of this would have happened. Because the moment she would have touched him or hugged him, it would have identified that her DNA was a match to his, and it would have cured the kid.
And everything else.
This is like one of those Raiders of the Lost Ark type things, where if the kid just caught the mom, everybody'd be okay.
They may have had to have been near the ambulance. I'm not sure if the nanobots were still on the kid.
Well, no, they
need
had
to
to
be
be.
near it.
No,
Yeah.
because it was contact. So whenever the kid touched somebody, those bots then started converting the people, and
Right.
so it didn't matter how close they were to the tube, because all it needed to do was have that contact where they would have gotten on her and would have identified the DNA and would have corrected the kid than everybody else. Like there is a level of all of this was completely unnecessary that kind of plays into it. There are fun moments, but yeah, the mom should have just stopped running from her kid. I'm just gonna say it.
In short,
I would run too. I'm not gonna lie.
Kind of like Spider-Man No Way Home, but you know.
I mean, at the same time, though, because like we find out later on that the mask is fused onto the people. They have a collapsed lung and everything. That's just everything the kid was going through.
Yep.
That the nanogene just recognized as the default in some sense, right? So you just have a kid running around with a collapsed lung, mask fused to its face,
breaking down walls,
down walls and shit like that. And I'm just like, sorry, you're telling me a child got that injured and the mother, who has been telling the child this whole time that it's their sibling, still wouldn't hold them after something like that, just to like hold them and bring them to a doctor? Like, really?
What? Using the force to close and lock the door? Like,
yeah,
it's a terrifying idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, this also pays off as one of my favorite jokes later on, though, in one of my favorite Capaldi
Yep,
episodes.
that is.
Oh, yeah.
or
Mummy on the Orient Express.
Tennant and Capaldi both reference it, and that's the
yes.
greatest
Tennant
thing
with
come
the
out of this.
gas mask on, just going, "Are you my mummy?"
If we could concentrate. I hated him.
I love the references in the show.
It's great. I mean, we still have Mavity around, so
Yeah, there we go. So, no, but honestly, like, it wasn't. I mean, like, for 2 episodes, I get it. They were kind of trying to flesh out Jack Harkness because we're going to see him a couple episodes. Which I will be honest with you, I had a little bit of a panic attack because I realized that we were going to have to deal with the Slovene the next episode. But it was a better episode, I think, than the previous Slovene episode. So
it
I'm
is
like, okay,
funnier in my honest to God opinion, I think.
yeah. Which we get Rexicorical Thalapatorius a whole lot more times.
Yes.
And these 2 episodes, at least in the beginning, without Jack, Rose would be a splat on the ground.
Yeah.
She decided, like I said, she decided to immediately ignore the last episode. She ran after the kid that she just randomly sees in the middle of World War II. Granted, they didn't know it was World War II yet.
Yeah, you can kind of tell though that the doctor was just done because he even goes like, "Just once, I'd like for someone not to run off after I tell them not to."
Right.
Well, I just love how
I'm gonna look for her right now.
I just loved how she grabs a rope, she's hanging in the sky with a giant Union Jack, or like going through, and there's this whole bombing going around, and she's like panicking, and of course then Jack Harkness just comes in and beams her on his ship.
She's yelling at him the entire time. She's floating in the air too. It's like, you're welcome, I guess.
Yeah,
right. I'll turn off my phone. Like that's gonna help. It is. It's messing with my instrument. Turn off your phone.
Nobody ever believes that. That was a great joke.
That was a fun one. Him going like, "Hang on," it's like, "To what?" I'm like, I mean, fair.
Oh yeah. And then the whole thing where she comes in and she says, "Well, I have to speak with my companion," and it's like she plays the game pretty well. And there are times where her and the doctor play loose and fast with the terms, especially when you think about the Cyberman Dalek episode with the Void, and where he immediately like calls Jackie his companion, and at that point even Jackie figures out how to run with it. So it's like titles don't even matter too much, but she really takes on that. Well, I have to talk to my companion, and of course Jack's concerned, like, when you mean companion, what do you mean by that? It's like, I need someone to dance with.
What else was there this episode? Because like, for as good as this episode is, it's fairly contained, right? There's not too much going on besides the main plot, which honestly I enjoy personally.
Yeah, it was, unless you realize that it didn't need to happen, but that's okay.
I mean, we had to find some way to end up with Captain Jack.
Yes, and if that's, I mean, I do enjoy the episodes where Jack Harkness is involved. It adds a bit of levity. You don't know who he's going to kiss. There is, I loved how he played like the martyr at the end, and then they just kind of like showed up on his ship and took him. And you've got him first dancing the Midnight Serenade, and then you got him dancing to In the Mood. And so,
yeah, I mean, if you think about it, this woman from the 1940s, and she sees logically her son should be dead, but is not.
He was dead.
Yeah. And then is just walking around. So like, I feel like this is one of those moments where like the power of Christ compels you type of thing, where she's.
Yeah, I'm not going near that.
But we're gonna see in seasons coming where people are walking around with no faces, and the families are trying to hide them in their homes, and like.
What episode was that? I do not remember that.
That's the one with the TV, the TVs with the Coronation Day.
Yeah, I do not remember that one. I mean, good thing we're doing a rewatch.
Because it's the woman in the TV that goes, hungry, feed me. She like eats the faces off the people. You don't remember this? It's with David Tennant.
Do not remember that episode. Oh my
word! Hold on a second. I'll have to tell you which one it is. You
Okay.
have? Am I watching episodes that you haven't seen?
This is also
Maybe?
you just reminded me of the actor that keeps repairing the hole in that street. He plays a role in Wheel of Time. It's like, oh, I know that guy from Doctor Who and nothing else.
Nice.
Huh? Apparently, I just don't remember much of the early eras.
Hold on, let's
I-
see.
I'm curious though. Do you guys remember watching this episode for the first time? Like, what were your overall
Yeah.
thoughts?
I was mad the entire time. My
Because
first
of
time
the
watching
kid?
it. Yeah, I was
Oh my god, David!
like, I don't know. This is right after this is when I started to lock into the show because this was just like this kid's annoying me the entire
That's the
time.
funny thing, because like I locked in for this episode, but I still remember the first time I watched it. I watched it with the phone in my pocket because it actually freaked me out. It was that freaky to me. It was just a scary episode to me.
Imagine
Yeah, it
that
was
kid
like a
saying, "Are
little-
you my mommy?" being in the text tone. On
Very
your phone.
suspenseful. And then at the end I had like the biggest realization about the season so far. When he's like, fine, this once everybody lives. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, people have been dying. And every episode,
Yeah, like people have indeed been dying.
every episode, you're right. Just this one time everybody's gonna live. Oh my god.
It's season 2, episode 7, The Idiot's Lantern. They go back to 1953 to the Great Britain. They huddle around televisions for the Queen Elizabeth's coronation.
I mean, it makes sense. It involves the Queen.
Yep.
No wonder why I don't remember it.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I genuinely don't remember that episode.
That's the episode where they end up going into this family's house, and there's this really abusive father who talks down to his wife and his son the entire time. And you find out later on he's been snitching to the entire neighborhood. Because everybody who gets their faces stolen, he's been snitching, and then the police have been taking them and hiding them. So
Okay, then.
yeah, you gotta watch it. It's well, we'll get there eventually.
We'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The long way around.
This is what these rewatches are
Long
for.
way round.
We'll see. We'll probably get there after like 3 months, though. Since we're doing the new
We're
season.
close. Yeah, probably like
2-3 months
you're
from
right.
now. Yeah.
yeah. Man, I'm excited about the new season.
Same.
I'm excited for the new companion.
I'm excited
she's
for the new
gonna-
outfits. Why am I so excited about the outfits?
I'm
Because it's
also excited
shooty.
about the outfits. I watched that trailer. I was like, which fit am I gonna get next?
We're gonna get such. It's like I also love when he has the different hairstyles. Like it's perfect. It gives variety.
Him with the whole pompadour thing. Pretty good. But back to Empty Child.
Yes.
Because
And Doctor dances.
and the Doctor dances. I always refer to it as the Empty Child episode.
Yeah.
Because it's the most.
I always just call it the
accurate.
"Are you my mommy too?"
Are you my mummy?
That's the thing. Like I would rewatch this episode after I watched it for the first time, and then like my mom caught wind of it at some point, and she kept repeating it to me in that accent just to annoy me.
That's awesome.
Nice.
It freaked out my brother though. He refuses to watch it.
My son, I mean, he just turned 10. We watched it when he was 9. The first time we watched it, he's like, "Can we change this? I don't know if I like this." And I'm like, "Let's just stick through it. We know the Doctor stuff is weird, but it should be okay. This shouldn't be like a horror." And then once they got healed, he's like, "Yay!" I'm like, "Yeah, be excited."
Everything's happy
Everybody
for
lives.
once.
Everybody lived.
Doctor.
He was freaked out until the Doctor ordered all of them to go back to bed or go to the room.
I was still freaked out even after then, so good on him.
He said, "I'm so glad that worked. Those would have been terrible last words."
That was a good one. Oh man.
Gosh.
Okay.
Christopher
Guys,
Eccleston is just it's episodes like these that just makes me want more of Eccleston.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still need to listen to his Big Finish 3-parter.
Yeah, no, I gotta find those. Like in the UK, like they sell them as like actual CDs that
Yeah.
you can buy. Can't really do that here, annoyingly.
Some guys get all the luck.
Damn Brits. I mean, they had the 50th anniversary play for them in theaters.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Didn't have that in Canada.
They did for the Christmas special. There were some theaters in America that did it. I applied to go. I didn't get anything right.
Fair enough. I think around that time I would have been able to. I would have been like a big enough fan to have watched them in theaters.
Yeah.
That would have been great.
It would have been interesting to have seen if they actually would have gotten out with the Doctor Who the movie, like how that would have played into all of it.
Yeah.
I mean they killed it, so it didn't happen. But
I mean,
I don't know.
If I am curious, like comparing that. How many of you guys have seen that original movie with Paul McGann?
Of course. I
Okay, so just me and Nico. Okay, so I see how it is.
I love that movie.
I need to go back and watch OG Doctor Who. I feel like I'm ready for it now.
I mean, here's the thing: like, you can easily just
Yes.
watch that one movie, and then you've seen the entirety of Paul McGann's run, pretty much, right? So, yeah. And plus, I saw it for free off of YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's easy.
So,
I
I think it was made by Fox, right?
think so.
Yeah. Oh, no wonder why Disney ended up teaming up with Doctor Who then for these later series, since they bought Fox.
Disney needs to calm down, though. They do need to calm down.
Just a little. Just a little bit.
Unless we get a Doctor Who ride in one of the parks.
I mean, when I went to LA last year, or the year before, no, it was last year, they had a TARDIS.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was only to
there
promote
in downtown
15.
Disney.
I think it's gone now, though.
Yeah, it is
Probably.
gone.
David, wait, did you know that the day after, no, the day of when I left, Chuti and the actress who plays the companion was there.
I was very mad about that. I found out about that too, and I was like, I could have been there today.
We could have been there if we had just stayed an extra day in LA.
Dang.
Wow.
So mad.
It's closer than I've ever been to meeting Judy.
Just by a day.
Oh yeah, listen, I've sent out requests and I've gotten answers back that Judy is very busy, and I'm like, okay,
I mean, makes sense. Bro's doing.
It's not like I'm not going to keep going for it.
He needs to do con appearances, man. He needs
Yes.
to do them convention
He will
rounds.
eventually.
America.
Sure.
I had like 5 seconds to talk to Jodie Whittaker, and I'm like, I need Judy to come to America.
I feel like we're gonna have to wait at least 4 to 8 years at this point before that happens.
Honestly, the one person I want to meet the most is Peter Capaldi. More than anything, I
Yes.
just want to meet Peter. His last con appearance was Fan Expo Canada, which is in Toronto, sadly, in 2019.
Wow.
I'm so frustrated by that.
Yeah, I think it would be fun to have him because he's such a fan himself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know if you guys have seen that video of him online, but he's doing his Q&A. He takes a sip of water. He's just coughing violently.
I posted that video.
Nearly regenerated there.
It did very well. I posted that video, and it was just something I grabbed off of YouTube, and someone's like, well, why didn't you give credit to the person that posted it? It's like, because I don't know if the person that posted it on YouTube was the original person. It was just a con appearance.
It's just a con appearance. That's it. But yeah. People are so annoying sometimes.
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 Yeah, so definitely I think that's the thing. Like, we talk about Doctor Who touches on so many different genres and so many different like periods and concepts. I think that's what's alluring, because you may not like one episode 1 week, but you're gonna like the next one possibly. And if not, you'll like the next one possibly, or if not, you'll just take it the long way around.
Yeah.
Just look at Peter Capaldi's run. I went from a Robin Hood episode to the Mummy episode, and then the Moon is a Baby episode.
I will say, I realized I was just like Clara when it came to Capaldi coming in. I wasn't sure if I liked him as the Doctor, but as soon as he kind of starts snapping in, I think it was the episode when he asked her, am I a good man? And she says, I don't know, but you try, and that's what counts. And I think that moment, that's when I'm like, I like this guy. I think I'm going to be okay with this Doctor. So
yeah, Doctor Who is one of those shows that really benefit. This is my 4th rewatch, I think. And it's just it benefits from a rewatch, because on my very first viewing, I'm very disappointed in myself for how mad I was throughout a whole lot of Christopher Eccleston's run. I'm like, okay, now I truly appreciate this so much better than I used to.
You just go, I miss you. Please come back.
Right? Need you on the screen again.
Yeah, I remember getting out through with the first episode, like, wow, you only get one episode as a doctor, and I'm like, oh no, that's just Eccleston. They just screwed him over. Like, okay,
It's
Yeah.
just the unfortunate reality of making television.
but surprisingly, in real life experience. Did I tell you guys about my kids in Cub Scouts and there was a guy wearing a Tardis shirt? I tell you guys that
Not
story?
about the TARDIS shirt part.
So we're in Cub Scouts. My kid, you know, he's a scout, and so during one of the things, us parents are like sitting and watching and, you know, hanging out in the community center, and there's a dad and he's wearing a shirt, and I'm looking from the side. I'm like, that looks like a blueprint for a TARDIS. And so he walks up to correct his kid. My son sees it, goes, "Hey, I like your shirt." And I'm like, okay, I definitely know that's a Doctor Who shirt now. And so he turns and comes back and it's a TARDIS shirt. And so I said, "Hey, I like your shirt." And he's like, he was awkward, you know, as most of us are when we get like compliment on something. He's like, okay. He walks away. And then like maybe 4 or 5 minutes later, he's like, can we pretend like you just complimented me? And I'm like, okay. And he's like, I love this shirt. It's very comfortable. It's bigger on the inside. And I'm like, I'm like, I appreciate that. And then just this last week, we had issues with our heat. And so we had the service technicians come in, and this guy comes in and he's saying we're talking about stuff, and he turns over and looks, and he sees a 3D printed TARDIS. It's identical. It's one I have up over here, sitting next to our television, because I've got that. And we, for some reason, before I ever started watching Doctor Who, I don't know if someone gave it to us or we bought, we have a Doctor Who TARDIS ornament.
Ooh.
And so I'm like, we're putting up ornaments this year for Christmas last year. And so I was like, hey, wait a second. So those are both sitting on the next to the television. He goes, so are you guys Doctor Who fans? He's like, yeah. And he's like, who's your favorite Doctor? And I said, John, why don't you go ahead and start? And so my 10-year-old looks at me and goes, I'm a big fan of the 10th, but I also like the 11th a lot. And I said, I'm kind of in the same boat as my kid. I said, but I also do like the 15th. And we sat there and probably talked for about 15 minutes about Doctor Who. And he's like, I guess I should go fix your furnace. I'm like, yeah, why don't you go do that?
Yeah, please do. I need the heat so that I can go enjoy the heat while I watch Doctor Who.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh gosh.
It's
Will talk. They will chat.
It's so funny when you finally run into somebody and you see that and you're just like, I can make a connection now.
There you go. It's not as big of a niche as we thought it was.
At all. Like whenever I walk around conventions, I'm like, oh my gosh, you're the Doctor. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like we'll just talk about Doctor Who for 10 minutes. And I'm like, oh shit, sorry to my friends. You can go on. Let's go on without me. See you later.
That's the funny thing. Like when I went to Vancouver Fan Expo, I saw Doctor Who cosplays. I saw like a Dalek and a whole lot of Jodie Whittakers.
Nice.
That's cool.
I think I saw like 110, no 11s, no 9s, no 12s, but a whole lot of Jodie and a whole lot of 10s, or not a whole lot of 10s, but like mostly Jodie's, which is always nice. But like at the same time, I think that speaks to the simplicity of her outfit and the iconography that comes with it.
Yeah, I get the same feeling because I've seen a bunch of 13s at a con. It gives me the same feeling when I saw a bunch of Rey Skywalkers at a different con. I just look at that going, ha, suck it, haters.
Right.
Well,
yeah, here's
you
the
know,
difference. Your cons don't have Star Wars theories there.
Yeah.
oh,
Yes,
we got
I
Doctor Who
sadly
theories.
did have that.
Thankfully,
No, I had Star Wars theory at my Vancouver Fan Expo and took everything in me not to indulge in the pyromaniac.
There was a whole panel or something dedicated to the other ones in that circle of toxic people. In MegaCon Orlando, there was like,
I mean, it's Orlando.
I'm glad I didn't run into any of them because I would have just thrown up. But yeah, there are others like him.
I'm not surprised.
Well, it's kind of funny. There's a toxic, off topic a little bit, the toxic Marvel content creator on TikTok. I'm not going to say his name.
Which
because
one? There's so many of them.
I'll tell you later, but they have a mouth, or at least they had a mouth in their title. And basically the MCU is in shambles. It was that dude.
The one with like.
No, we're not going to use his name.
I'm not going to say his name. It's just the guy with a really bad hairline, right?
Where he's kind of got like a little bit of a. I want to say it was kind of like a. He reminded me of a goat a little bit. I don't know why, but
it's like he got punched at the lips.
Something like that. So he's been doing some positive stuff for Daredevil Born Again. And I'm seeing a lot of like my friends that are like reposting and stuff. And I'm like, they don't know who he is because he changed his name a bit. Because
is it the videos of him sitting in front of the TV pretending to cheer? Oh God, I hate those fucking videos so much. It's
Yeah.
just brainless. Anyways, sorry.
Yeah.
Large tangent, not necessary.
Yeah. Well, it's not like a certain historian that we were talking about before a long time ago.
Oh
who-
man.
Who was originally a 3D printer content creator, which I didn't realize until later on.
There's so many content creators that we've later find out are problematic.
I feel like what we should do at some point is we should all just start fighting amongst ourselves, and just it be like everybody who's watching or ends up watching, we can reference back to this video. We all decide we're going to be super toxic against each other just so that we can all get views and people can think that there's drama and that there's, and we'll all get like 100,000 subscribers.
It won't be hard. I can act very toxic. I just need to let
Johnny's
myself
like,
go a little.
yes, finally my time has come.
Johnny's just like, oh, the amount of insults I'm about to throw at all of you.
I'm ready for to show my drama.
I'm Canadian. Do you know how much we suppress?
I've seen how you guys have been responding to certain political stuff. Like I can see it. Like there's a little bit of like
11th province.
Yep.
Any day now, just shut the power off.
I mean, hey, here's the thing. I cannot do that to another part of the Commonwealth. Did you guys see that Trump told King Charles, like, oh yeah, no, we should totally rejoin the Commonwealth. I would love that. We were so great under that. And I'm just sitting here like, you know what? Let them join the Commonwealth. And then King Charles does have all the authority by that point then to just go, let's just merge the countries and just give it to this one sector of government.
Well, what I always thought was funny was like someone made a statement that like was it Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's kids a native born American, and so if they ran for president, it would basically be that scene in Hamilton. You'll be back soon.
Honestly, I'm so down for that now.
Only if we get Jonathan to come back and do the do his scene from Hamilton, like
leave it to an orange to make me hope for the British monarchy to come back. Honestly, God, my ancestors are just frowning upon me right now.
Yeah, we put on hats like "Make America Great again."
Make America Brit again
with its Union Jack pattern.
Saying we love tea. We're sorry.
Ready for another tea party?
But like we'll drink it this time.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. So Doctor Who was the thing.
We were still on topic with the British stuff, technically.
Okay, so let's do this. We've talked about the episode, everything else. Let's talk about something a little bit separate. Favorite sonic screwdrivers. Where are we at with?
I'll just go get mine. Give me 1 minute.
Okay. Nico's just leaning over. David, you got your cup of sonics?
Yeah. I gotta go. Hold on. Jody's leaning against the cup. I have to fix this. Oh, no.
Okay. So I went to go grab it, and then I saw the rest. I'm like, shit. Which one is it?
Right? I'm like,
So like, this was the original choice because blue and green. The new, 15th Doctor one, not bad. I kind of like it. It's a nice merger between the 11th and 10th.
Wait, this is the new what?
Sorry.
Oh man, you guys got the chrome ones. I just got the regular one. Now,
wait, those are for which Doctor?
15. David Tennant's during the 60th anniversary.
14.
Oh, okay.
Oh, 14.
Okay.
My bad.
14. You're freaking me out because I'm like,
hey,
I know
you're just flexing now, all right?
Well, no. There's more. 3s is quite nice. I quite like it. I like the little spiral.
Dr. Sonic.
Here's the thing, though. They actually made 2 different versions. There's the one with like a red circular one. I have the brown one, which is apparently more screen accurate, which I dig.
Yeah.
But I think this one might actually be my favorite. The War Doctors.
This is like the epitome of don't give me adult money because
yeah, really.
As if my room wasn't an example of that. You guys can't see.
I mean, I have overflow back behind me. That's all piled back there. But
Dave,
fair.
It's understandable, Dave. I have like 311 Sonics.
All I'm gonna say is that closet back there is filled to the brim with Hot Toys. that are
Nice.
still
Yeah.
in their boxes.
I know it's recent, but I think my favorite is 14s for sure because it's got
Mhm.
like everything rolled into one.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's got the nice
And-
little crank at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So
I also liked how he used it in the specials where he was actually able to kind of like
To make a
process things
barrier?
in air. Yeah.
a lot of people didn't
Barrier
like
and
that.
the that was like basically Disney like, okay, let's flex a little bit. Here's a
Yeah,
holographic screen we can have on the side.
Right? Just creates a tablet. Oh my god.
Hold on. Now I have to rearrange the cup because buttons are being pressed because I gotta get a
Right.
bigger space. Ah.
but anyways, I think War Doctors is my favorite.
I wish we got more with the War Doctor.
I'm
Like,
sure we'll get more of him one day.
well,
Maybe in
he
a
is.
book.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, great
no
comics.
longer.
Oh my gosh.
He is deceased, so we'd
Well,
have
yes,
to get
John
it.
Hurt
in,
has sadly passed away.
Yeah.
Could always do a recast, kind of like with the first Doctor.
It'd be. I mean, I could see it. It's kind of because John Hurt was such a unique person. It'd
That's
be kind of
fair.
hard to do.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I remember like I'd seen him over and over again in different stuff, but I think what really brought me attention to him as an actor was V for Vendetta.
Oh, it was Alien
like-
for me.
That was good too. Yeah, I mean, of course, that's quintessential. But like when I really started paying attention to like how he really like threw himself into a role, like he was vile in V for Vendetta, and you
Yeah.
just you learn to really hate him.
Was that him
But then
in
also-
Hellboy, or was I thinking of somebody else? I don't remember.
John Hurt was in Hellboy, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't he like the father or whatever?
Yeah, he played the father figure for Hellboy, right? I don't think he played anyone else. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, he did. He did. Yeah, and then later on, it becomes the dude from the David Harbour version is the guy from John Wick.
Also, he was in Snowpiercer.
Yep, good movie. I like
Yeah.
it. Good Chris Evans movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah,
that was the
Screwjob.
reason why Chris Evans had to hide his face during the Avengers end credit scene when they were.
Oh
the
yes,
screenplay
it was because of the beard.
was the beard.
Oh man. Hey, I mean,
Wow.
at least they decided to hide it and they didn't show his face, unlike a certain Justice
Uberman?
League film. Just saying.
Oh, CGIing the mustache. Yeah.
Upper lip man.
Yeah.
To which I'll be honest with you, shaving that mustache would not have hurt the film he was in for it in the first place. Because like I don't think anybody really remembers.
Nothing would have helped with that film.
Because the worst. Let's face it, the mustache wasn't the worst thing in that film. I would think it was Army Hammer, but that's okay.
Huh?
Army Hammer, because the guy like wasn't that around the time when Army Hammer was talking about his family like wasn't adverse against cannibalism.
Yeah, I know why we're canceling him, but like, how does Army Hammer come back to Justice
He
League?
wasn't a good because Henry Cavill was in a film with Army Hammer where Cavill had the mustache that he couldn't have in Justice League.
I did not know that.
So like
I thought it was
literally
for
like,
Mission Impossible.
was it?
The
No.
mustache was for Mission Impossible.
I think he had it in several films. I don't know.
Mm.
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Look, all I know is just that those movies should not exist for a good reason. Whether it be because of Kal-El, no, or God knows what else.
Why'd you say that name?
Martha, that's such a great joke to reuse. So
I love how in Deadpool 2 they riff on it too. It's like, sir, I was fighting a Cape Crusader until we both found out our mom's.
Oh,
names
you're
was
right.
Martha
It was Mission
too."
Impossible Fallout. Okay.
I
stand
do.
corrected.
I
the
do know
only
something.
thing I remember Cavill from Mission Impossible is when he like does the arm thing, like he's
Yeah.
reloading his arms.
The arm pumps.
Yeah.
What else has Cavill really done that? I mean, Witcher, and then that's about it. That's all I can really remember him for.
Witcher might have been his best
Henry
role,
Cavill?
actually.
Are you guys
Yes.
He did The Man from U.N.C.L.E. That's what I was thinking was with the Army Hammer.
Ah.
He was great in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Witcher might have been his best role. He was a little weird behind the scenes, from what I understand. So it's
For
like
Deadpool and Wolverine?
No, Witcher.
Oh, yeah.
Deadpool and Wolverine was just that one scene.
I mean, yeah,
I'm interested to see what
like, how toxic can you be for one scene?
I'm interested to see what he does for Warhammer.
I thought he left the project.
Did he?
I heard he left.
Why am I so behind?
Mind you, I live with a guy who loves Warhammer. Like, he has the minis and paints them frequently. So
He keeps trying to get into projects that he's super into because he is a massive nerd. But you know, he left The Witcher because they wanted to deviate from the source material, which, you know, I actually agree with, but that doesn't really redeem Cavill.
Wait, you agree with Cavill?
I agree with the whole source material bit. Like,
Okay.
I like when stuff sticks to source material.
I mean, I like it when they deviate. That's part of the reason why I was so bored with The Last of Us season 1. It was just
I like slight deviation. Like, even in The Last of Us, they did subtle things differently.
Yeah. Like, we had Bill die happy, which I'm fine with. Yeah, you know, that episode is acclaimed for a reason. That itself is amazing. But like other things, I'm just like, I don't really care.
So the last thing I'm seeing online was like a month ago, and it's still calling it Henry Cavill's Warhammer.
Okay.
So we really haven't gotten any updates since any real updates since December. But it was the one a month ago was talking about it could be a massive hit if the actor can't overcome some major obstacles, and I think it sounds like they're lacking notable characters in the series. But
I mean, just playing a bit of Space Marines 2, that game is weird. That game lore is weird.
My PC can barely run it. I'm not that far.
I mean, once I saw like babies with wings, like what is happening? What is happening in this universe?
What game is this?
Warhammer Space Marines 2.
Space Marines 2, yeah.
I've never touched a Warhammer game.
It's a good game. It's a fun game. I'm not even going to pretend.
There's medieval and then there's Space Marines. There's like two separate settings.
Aspects to Warhammer.
Okay.
Anyways, I mean, here's the thing. Warhammer, very British. So, we're still kind of on topic with Doctor Who. I'm reaching here, I know.
You know, we were talking earlier about like Doctor Who is more mainstream than we realize. You could already tell that because of how people are criticizing its wokeness. So and it's like, you obviously have not watched previous Doctor Who, because I remember sitting down, and I want to say it was like season 3 or 4. So it only would have been like 2007, 2008. And they were talking about pronouns and everything else. And I was like, oh, like we're really behind on the times. If like it wasn't until like the 20s that we were like 2015, 2019, we were talking about that.
Just before this, I saw a post from Doctor Who from behind the scenes of Shooty's first season. And some commenter was like, ripping on the fact that they showed Jinx Maestro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, oh, showing that for a show for children, how unsurprising. And I'm just like, this has been around since 2005. Where have you been? Jack Harkness.
Right.
Clearly
in this episode was literally looking at Rose's ass.
Wait till we get to the finale for Eccleston, because Barrowman kisses him.
He also gets
goodbye.
Naked and just
he
goes
also,
like, your viewership just went up.
No, yeah, your viewership just went up.
even the end of this episode, Eccleston's like, he wants to dance, but with which one of us?
Exactly.
Yeah, at the beginning, like right after he sees Rose, he's like, nice bottom, and then looks at the other guy, smacks him on the butt, and says, you got a nice bottom too. Like, all right.
Exactly.
It's like,
don't worry, old boy.
And here's the thing. With Doctor Who, whoever the Doctor has an interest with, it's not an issue, because the Doctor can be anything and anything at the time, at any time. I mean, if we go back to the history, like the Time Lords discover the Doctor when the Doctor's a female. and then you've got the Doctor growing up, and we're gonna have Jodie. We have the the fugitive Doctor. I mean, what does it matter at this point?
Let's not touch on the whole what's the thing called again? The what child?
Timeless child.
Timeless
The
child.
timeless child. That's just gonna give me a headache. I can already feel it coming on in the back of my left brain here, left side of my brain. I'm like twitching my eyes just thinking about it. Oh God.
Yeah.
But yes, no, Doctor Who in and of itself is woke. I mean, here's the thing. It's Doctor Who is British. No offense, guys, but like bit of the more Commonwealth countries, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, the UK, countries like that, they are a little bit more progressive in some senses within our media.
As they should be.
I would even say, like, I feel like when we use the term woke when it comes to media, I think it really directly relevant to America, because America has to come to an understanding and identification of that there's a struggle with diversity, and there's a struggle with oppression. I would almost dare say with Doctor Who, because Doctor Who, let's face it, the British Empire was more progressive than America ever was, even back, a couple hundred years ago.
I mean, that's because they had to be with everything that they wanted.
True. There was a lot of struggles, but I feel like Doctor Who is what a lot of times we should be striving to.
Oh yeah.
To get. I mean, the Doctor is absolutely accepting of anything and everything, and I think that's where, because it's like, well, with every species and gender and genus and whatever it's coming from, you just respect it, because it may not be you, but it's what is, let's say, the fantastic. It's all fantastic. So
I mean, that's even the thing, like with the Doctor in it. Like it's also the same thing with Star Wars. People complain about it being too politicized, too progressive. You're literally
space
in
Nazis.
Space. Exactly. But also,
Yeah.
like, people were losing their shit when Donald Glover said, like, oh yeah, no, Lando's pansexual. And they're like, what do you mean he's pansexual?
As
like,
he's
guys,
always been.
he sleeps with aliens. You are in a galaxy far, far away. Where
Guess
you have
what?
Twi'leks.
Captain Kirk was too.
Exactly. Like,
He figured
any
out how to
guy
put
who
it. Like,
pretends
come
he
on.
would not sleep with a sexy looking alien who is female presenting in and of themselves is lying.
Oh, and then we go back. I mean, like, if we go a little bit farther, we know like Star-Lord in Marvel, with
Exactly.
like I love it. He's like when Drax is talking to him. What was it called? It was
Oh, man who was laying with the Lascavarian.
Ascavarian, yeah.
It's like it was one time, man.
Yeah. Listen,
Sorry, if you are a character that exists in space and is frequently there, and you're a horny ass motherfucker,
and in space, no one can hear you scream.
or get that. But yeah, no,
And as George Takei would say, "Oh my!"
Exactly. Oh my. But it's just anyone who complains about wokeness within a sci-fi set of media, depending on what it is, I won't lie. So there's very specific, peculiar ones that may not align itself well more so within it. I'm having issues thinking of any at the moment, if I'm being honest. It's just kind of lying to themselves, though, regardless. Like,
oh yeah.
These things are kind of woke, and like the terminology we use is stuff we are using a lot more prominently now as people are becoming more educated. But that doesn't destroy the lore, as people might say. It's not woke for the sake of wokeness. It is canonically accurate for what it's meant to be.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I'm more worried about the software than the hardware. That's just how it should be.
I mean, a little bit of column A, column B is not too bad.
See, now I got you never gonna have a friend like me stuck in my head.
Someone go get the Woody.
Okay, let's change topic. Sir, we've been doing an innuendo here, but that was a little too far.
That was too far.
He just channeled John Barrowman there for a second.
I know.
See, this is what happens whenever we have a John Barrowman episode. We're doomed.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
We're gonna get this for like another 3 seasons of us doing this kind of innuendo feeling.
I mean, John Barrowman is going to be with us for the rest of the season at least.
Exactly, and then he's gonna disappear for 2 seasons. or for 2 doctors, and then he's gonna come back, and then this is all gonna start all over again. So if you like the horniness, you're gonna need to wait around,
Or watch Torchwood in the interim.
or just Arrow as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but except he played more straight that way. Like he was.
Yeah,
I would say he was
less.
less Barrowman and more like Stephen Amell. Which
There was one moment in his run as Malcolm Merlin where he did this like head tilt. I'm like, there's John Barrowman. There's that sassy John Barrowman.
Yeah.
with the chin dimple.
You do gotta love how many Doctor Who actors they pulled into the Arrowverse.
Oh yeah, Star Wars
everywhere.
Too.
Yeah.
Like there's a surprising amount of Star Wars actors that are
Game of
just
Thrones
pop up.
too.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, Star Wars, Arrowverse,
Marvel.
and Marvel. I mean, it's rampant.
Real pipeline.
Because we got Rory, Alex Kingston, and John Barrowman went over to Arrowverse, as far as I'm aware, and I don't know what other actors are there.
And if only Doctor Who would have kept James Corden.
Here's the thing: I don't hate James Corden as much as most people do. I don't think he's a great interviewer, but like him, I don't
think he's a good person in general. But otherwise,
I mean, I don't know.
If you keep anything you know about James Corden self-contained to Doctor Who, it's fine. But knowing other stuff, that's where it becomes a problem.
Oh God, what the hell did he do?
No, he's just, from what I understand, he's just very like cruel to his staff and stuff.
Oh,
like he's very like egotistical.
Really, the guy, the character he plays in Doctor Who would not indicate a cruel person, but Jesus Christ, okay. Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we've beaten this with a horse, or beaten this horse with a stick enough.
Point is, Empty Child, good. Just not a lot to talk about.
Yeah, and Dr. Dance is good. I mean, the Doctor dancing was fun.
Dance. Empty Child dances.
But this is a precursor, because I'm gonna tell you, when we get to the latest Doctor Who with the 15th Doctor, the dancing is much better. I'm just saying that. I will tell you that entire dancing at the end of the episode with the Maestro was entirely unnecessary, but was absolutely acceptable and amazing in all.
Exactly.
Now I gotta go back and watch it again.
Yeah, I mean it's a season where like there are no rules because gods are messing with the universe. So anything could happen there.
God, it's such a fun season.
Unraveled the universe with the flux. And then
Okay. I just realized I did not look up the name.
I think he fixed the flux too. Didn't he fix
Did he fix the flux?
I was pretty sure he fixed the flux at the end. Yeah.
Potentially, yeah.
Point is, Jodie's run is still haunting me. Nothing against Jodie. It's just some of the stories they were telling. I'm just like, oh my God, the everlasting repercussions.
The bad guys, aside from the Master, kind of sucked. But
Tim Shaw.
Yeah, that was the Donald Trump stand-in?
No.
Tim Shaw was the blue guy.
The guy with all the teeth in his face.
Oh, yes. Forgot about that, dude.
You see for the first episode, then you see the last episode, and then never again.
Yep. So next episode for next week is episode 11, Boomtown.
Boomtown.
Yeah. Where we get to see our favorite Slovene.
I mean, it's some peak Christopher Eccleston in that episode, I will say.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it leads to an epiphany for Rose to save the Doctor later on.
Mm-hmm.
True, it does. Yeah.
But with that said, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. Let's go backwards. David, start us off, and again, tell us where we can find you.
I am Xanatos1138 on all socials, mostly TikTok, trying to do Twitch, trying to get more motivated to do content in general. So if you follow me, I promise I will do stuff.
Johnny.
I am Marvelous Johnny. Remember, that's Marvelous with 2 L's because we're Canadian. Find me on TikTok, YouTube, which I'm still working on, Instagram, and probably Twitch as well. I really want to stream horror games because I scream a lot and it's really funny. And I think it could be some good content right there.
Yep.
Just saying.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just gonna say this. If you do it, if we figure out a time, I would absolutely play some Phasmophobia with you.
Ooh.
Because I have woken my family up in the middle of the night while me playing it.
I believe it. Here's the thing. I still remember. This is like pandemic days. Sorry, Nico. I know you want to also introduce
you're
yourself,
good.
or not introduce, but like also
You're
plug.
good.
But I still remember. This is like 2020. This is like one of my first dates with this girl I'm dating. We're playing Phasmophobia together, and I scream at the top of my lungs and just throw my headphones. Like, nope, we're done. We still dated for like another 5 months, but
Listen, I found out that I can hook up Phasmophobia to my VR goggles.
yes,
Oh
you can.
my god.
My roommate has, or no, the guy who used to live in this room. I'm friends with him, and we used to do that on his VR. I fell on the ground just screaming. Once.
I bought that game to play with a streamer. I played it once and then never got the opportunity again. So I would
Was
be
it
down
Cal?
to play that.
Oh, we
No,
should
it was
have a
somebody
team.
like way before the Star Wars people. It was way before that.
Okay. How many people can you have play Phasmophobia at once? 4?
I think it's 4.
I think it's 4. Yeah.
There's content there to be made. Sorry. Anyways, Nico, your turn. I'm sorry for the divulgence.
Hello, Nico Skywalker from TikTok. Skywalking Nico on Instagram. That's it. I don't post.
He has
anything.
embraced the
I'm not gonna
meme,
do it.
ladies and gentlemen.
If you love Doctor Who and you want to see a great 15th Doctor cosplay,
Yes, I always keep it on me.
Follow him.
I'm always ready.
also Norman Osborn, and every so often pulling out the Sam Wilson, and occasionally an
Yes.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes,
Indeed.
But it's
love
been a
the
minute.
Obi-Wan.
It's been a minute.
It has. I haven't done that since New York. That was the last time I've done Obi-Wan.
Oh, God,
I
I really
just-
need to
I
get
just-
back into cosplay videos too.
I just remember, like, Nico, the first time I ever met you, spinning lightsabers until Disney notices me.
Yes. Oh my God. I was at BlurredCon. So many people walked up to. I love just spinning a lightsaber series. I was like, thank you.
So did they ever notice you?
Yes.
Okay,
Did Disney
good.
notice you?
No. Well, Star Wars followed me. That's about it.
There you go.
Okay. That
That's
works.
Wagman.
It does.
That worked. All right. And then, of course, I'm Tony. You can find me at Mr. Marvelite everywhere. But most importantly, just check us out here at isfanbox.com. You can get different movies, movie reviews, TV show reviews, news that's coming out. Haven't posted anything about it yet.
Soon.
But we did just get an announcement from Crunchyroll that we have not posted yet, that the final chapter of My Hero Academia is coming out in October of this year. So we'll post about that a little bit later on.
I'll
And then,
definitely do some Chainsaw Man.
yeah, and then Juan Reed's Comics has got an article probably coming out tomorrow about the top 5 things he wish he would have known before collecting comics, which is actually really insightful. And well, I shouldn't say it that way because it is insightful. It's not like it's surprisingly insightful. It's just insightful. And it's definitely something if you're interested in getting into comic collecting, kind of knowing what to do. Because I'll be honest with you, I read through it. I'm like, if I would have known this before I got my pull list, I would have been a much wealthier person at the end because it's a struggle. You'll end up spending hundreds of dollars on comics if you're not careful.
I mean, would you like to know what my poll amount was for Wednesday of the 19th of March?
How much?
It was $42.75.
Okay,
After
that's
taxes.
that's lower than I would expect. But
That's low.
there was a
aimed
time
for
when I
like
was spending over
$15,
$115.
I mean, there was a time where I went 80
stack
once,
was like
but that was about
this.
it. Would it
Yeah.
include trades or was it just singles?
It was all singles.
Oh my God, man. That's impressive. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, well, it was right. It started off right during the last Secret Wars series, and I was getting all of the offshoots, and then I got into the new Marvel,
that would
all
do it.
new, all different.
I
And
miss all new, all different.
I don't.
Really? I like the.
I liked Infamous Iron Man, and I liked the Invincible Iron Man a bit. Amazing Spider-Man I was struggling through it.
I mean, I still stuck on with that. It was better than the Miles run that we had, but like we had,
and then you had
Wolverine run,
and then you had the Emerge for Hire with Deadpool, and then you had
that stuff was
Deadpool
pretty fun.
who was funding the Avengers because he had an entire merch
was
store at the
funding
bottom
them?
of Avengers Tower. Yeah, because he was popular after Secret Wars.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You mean the movie?
Well, in the comic, he was rich. He was
Yes.
he was making money. Plus, he had his merc team, and
Mhm.
so he funded the Avengers, which was really weird.
Yeah.
And you realize that was the only reason why he was in the Avengers because he was funding them because they didn't like him. So
I mean, yeah. I mean, even Spider-Man left the team because of that.
yeah, but I will say the Spider-Man Deadpool comics are
That was
Fantastic.
good, and it's written by Joe
Yeah.
Kelly, who is now the current writer of ASM, who
And so
sadly
we
cannot
are-
bring that same vibes.
We are completely off topic now. So with that said, check out itsfanbox.com for those things that you want to talk about. And we're sorry we held you captive, but be sure to also check us out on anywhere you get your podcast. With that said, you guys have a great afternoon, and we will catch you next time.
Later.